All right, what's up, people? Um, I figured what I'd do is I'd do another one of these. So I'm gonna be reviewing Tom LeRoy's video. Watch along. Haven't seen it before. I actually didn't want to watch it because it said advice for those new on the left-hand path. So I figured if I watched that, I'd be like, what do I be doing? Taking a time machine or something? But this time, because I got so much self-criticism of the last one, I'm not gonna be talking over my dude. I'm just gonna let him go, and if I gotta, pause it, I'm gonna pause it. You know what I'm saying? I think, go look at my community tab because you're gonna see a lot of. I've been fucking around with AI a lot lately, especially the image function. So it's like I'm trying to create things, but it's fucking. It's like beating a dog, dude. I don't know what to fucking say, man. But now let's get into Tom LeRoy. This is gonna be. It looks like a short video. I think he's going to keep his points pretty tight. And if I don't have nothing to say, it's just gonna be me watching this fucking video because I haven't seen it before. When I do this. I was gonna put a poll up. Should I do this again with Tom? Then I'm like, by the time y'all motherfuckers answer the goddamn poll, it's gonna be like 8 days in the future, so let's go.
Sinisterism is about finding the primal aspects of the left-hand path, primal in history, primal in the psyche, thus obtaining truth. Thomas LeRoy.
Here's a really cool intro.
Greetings, my friends, and welcome back to your dose of sinister heathenry. But for those new to the channel, I'm Thomas LeRoy, founder of the International Left-Hand Path organization, the Sect of the Horn God. The sect is an educational foundation created to not only make those with the black flame aware of its glow, but to also restore the shadow aspects to the ancient gods by going deep into the past, not only historically, but also psychologically.
By the way, whatever, I know that's Odin, right? Wherever you got that from, that image, it's awesome as fuck. I just had to say that.
Primordial depths of the psyche are limitless. So, if this sounds interesting, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to learn more, join the organization, the Sect of the Horn God, at the link down below. Thank you.
You're welcome, bro. Okay, he didn't say nothing there. But whenever somebody, all right, look, I have a problem with this. And this is why I don't get along with motherfuckers, okay? Magister. Add an IUM to the end of that motherfucker, and what do you have? The Magisterium. You know what the Magisterium used to be? It used to be the Inquisition, okay? No, you're not. There's no magisters. You ain't gonna get me to call nobody no magister. That's an administrator. That's a motherfucker that can fucking like give you the thumbs up or thumbs down to get burned at the stake. No, fuck that. I know you didn't say it.
And what advice would you give to individuals interested in exploring left-hand path or joining an organization like the sect?
Okay, most of us got on this path because we were pissed off. We felt lied to. We felt betrayed.
Actually, I would disagree with that. We go ahead.
And I fully understand. I understand that anger. But I'm seeing a lot of people, like, Facebook groups, so on and so forth, and all they're shouting is Hail Satan and how much they hate Christians and they hate their parents because they they're Christians. And it's like, okay, I get it at the beginning. When you're on the starting line, I get it. But you got to let that shit go. You really got to let it go. And if you can honestly let it go and still want to pursue the path, then okay, work your way down. But a lot of people, when they let that anger go, they realize, you know what? I'm still a Christian, really, and I was just going through an angry fit. And then,
okay, I hate to do that and cut this dude off in mid-sentence, but I think you're close, but you're like, it's like you're so close that it's like you're almost off point. You see, because what's going on here is that there's a natural cycle of life. And so you're born and you're an infant. And what is an infant? It's a sponge of knowledge. You can take an infant and you can make that thing into anything you want. Because the mind is so open at that point. And then they become a toddler, and then they learn to walk. And once you walk, you start relying more on your body and less on your open mind. You start coagulating. You start moving down into Malkuth, or what fucking Crowley identified, I think falsely, with the devil, but I'm not really gonna, on the tarot, I'm not really gonna quibble with that, but but the thing is that I think there's a different journey going on. It's a journey of adolescence and like rebellion. Rebellion is natural within everyone. But the question that I always ask when I see all these crimes and shit like that, what I ask is, okay, where's the dad? I have 2 kids. They're both doing great. You know what I'm saying? And when I see kids that have problems, I'm like, it always seems to be that there's going to be a weirdo mom with no dad around. But call me what you want. So that's it. Sorry, smoking too much. Licit substances, not illicit. I don't do that. That's against the law, and I would never break the law. Oh wait, we're talking about left-hand path, aren't we? Let's go. I'm sorry, I interrupted this motherfucker.
They find themselves back, their asses sitting in a pew in a church somewhere. That's common. If you really want to pursue this path, that's the number one thing I would say to people. Okay, I understand the angry phase. I went through it. We all went through it. But get through it and then move on. All right? I've seen people my age, and I'm not a young guy, who are still shouting.
I hate to say it. Get over it and move on basically mean the same thing, but I understand what you're saying is like, push past, or, like it's called, what do you call it? Trekchode in the Buddhist, in the Tibetan teaching. It's basically like, it's not the leap over. The leap over is the higher technique, but it's the cutting through. Where you basically, it's like, okay, you have a mirror in front of you. And on the other side of that mirror is everything. Or nothing, depending on how you view it. And you're like, well, you got to get on the other side of this mirror. One of them is you just run through it. And the other one is you jump over it. Yeah, those are the 2 final levels of Tibetan Buddhism teaching. I just fucking told the secrets, motherfucker. Look it up.
Their hail Satans, and they're angry at Christians and they hate them and blah blah blah. It's like, just stop it. Start studying. It's like LeRoy said. Satanism is about study. It's not about worship. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's about going way beyond.
And he had studied everything. If you talk to people who knew him, he was, he dabbled in everything. He read up on everything, ceremonial magic. He was into Crowley as well. He had a big painting of Crowley.
I would even say that the word worship itself is ambiguous and probably incapable of serious definition. Just take the word worship. I want you to think about that. I'm not gonna delve into it because this is a watch along. But think about the ambiguous nature of that word. I'll get back to that if you want.
Yeah. It's when you're into, like I was saying before, when you're into this stuff, you're just like you're into it. And when you were saying,
now this is not Tom talking. This is the host or whoever the fuck this is. That's why I said, what was the first thing I said? This guy has in front of his name, like unironically, the word magister. I'm like, already, man. I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, no. This dude is, you ever see a motherfucker put themselves on a couch? You know what I'm saying? Like, they put themselves on it. You didn't put them on the couch. When a motherfucker try to put me on the couch, they ain't gonna do it. It ain't gonna happen. It's not. But the thing is, like, they put themselves on the couch. Not to other people like them. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about they legit will come out and just throw themselves on the couch. I'm not talking Harvey Weinstein couch. I'm talking like psychologically. They'll just be like, well, you know, back when I was 12, you know what I'm saying? It's one of them type shit. Go ahead, man. Keep telling yourself, magister.
Becoming more knowledgeable about it. What books or writings do you recommend to people who come into your organization, or even people like we were saying before, just individuals interested in the left-hand path? What books would you recommend?
Number one book I'd recommend to anyone, well, most people who get on the path have already read the Satanic Bible. You know what I mean? Here in the Western world, especially. But one I'd highly, highly recommend to everyone on the path is Lords of the Left-Hand Path by Stephen Flowers.
That's an interesting recommend, bro, because I have it. I've read that book probably about 12 to 15 times. I recommend it as well. That's interesting to see that you would say that.
Gives you a nice overview of the path, from east to west to, and
it's annotated, so you can go source out your material. Exactly.
Different individuals who have practiced it throughout the years, so on and so forth. It's an easy to understand read. It's not like trying to read Crowley or trying to read Julius Evola or whatever. Those guys tend to get very wordy, and you need a thesaurus to understand what they're talking about half the time.
Sometimes the message is in between the layers.
No. I like that. You need a thesaurus. That's a good line, but the fucked up thing about thesauruses is that it's one word for one word. You mean you want a dictionary? But go ahead, man. I'm not joning.
Exactly. Yeah.
On purpose, too.
Yes.
To a degree,
Yeah.
We're just going to put it out there, It's like, you got to kind of weed through it,
Yeah, exactly. Where Stephen Flowers and what he wrote, it's you get it. And I recommend that book highly to everyone, especially if you're new on the path. It'll give you a nice overview of what the hell's going on.
Dr. Flowers is an upcoming guest here.
Oh, excellent. His Germanic rune work and everything I find very interesting. And we'll also be talking about his...
God, the host is fucking crazy and boring. I mean, crazy boring. I didn't mean he was crazy. What book would I recommend for someone new to Left-Hand Path to read? All of them. Start with your Bible. Start with your Quran. Then read it from a critical perspective. Then read commentaries on that. Then read you some Aristotle. Read you some Plato. Figure out where the differences lie therein. Read you some Kant. Read you some Hegel. And then also read you Hume, that gave rise to all that. And then also read economics. Read everything. It's all there before you. The thing about the path is, it's not left or right. It goes every direction. You have to pick that direction. What's commonly called the left-hand path is to be able to hand Put your hand up to the tree, take the fruit, and eat of it. That's the left-hand path. But go ahead, Tom.
Latest book as well.
Oh, he's done? Yeah, I gave you the like, didn't I? Yeah, I gave you the like. I'm already subbed. Oh man, I mean, it's like advice to people new on the left-hand path. I don't even know what the fuck to say because I'm not a teacher. I can't tell you what the fuck to do. I think if you're on the left-hand path, you don't need to be told what the fuck to do. At that point, isn't that kind of the point? You don't need nobody to tell you what the fuck to do. You kind of figured it out on your own. It's a solitary path. Am I right? Help me out. But no, that was a cool watch along. Thanks for watching with me.